Well, good evening and welcome to the Arbor Hills Nature Preserve at Plano, Texas. Tonight's exercise is a field test of the ACEBEAM UC3A. I want to thank ACEBEAM for sending me this light and making the review possible. This is an EDC style light, not quite round, not quite completely flat, somewhere in between. It is rechargeable. This is your battery compartment. ACEBEAM supplies a rechargeable battery. As you can see, there's no charging port. You recharge the battery directly, or you can use a AAA, which I will do later tonight. Nice one-way clip. Actually works pretty good as a cap light. That will be one of the demonstrations tonight. You have out the front side lights, dual switches, one for out the front and one for the side. Very simple operation. Your white out the front outputs are ultra low, low, medium, and high. Auxiliary or side light outputs are white, and there are a number of RGB outputs that I will go through later. One of the things I really liked about the auxiliary outputs is usually in a lot of lights you can set the output level, and it could be anywhere from cool to practical, but that's all you get. Sometimes it's a little bit too much. You can actually toggle between a low and a high output, so I thought that was a great idea. Really good fit and finish, feels great in the hand. I found that these buttons have, you can see, a little bit of slack to them, so it's harder than you might think to get an accidental activation if you just carry it free or you drop it in free with other stuff in your ruck. The one thing I'll point out about the UI is that when you use the out the front light, it always comes on in medium. The basic rotation is low, medium, high. You do have direct to ultra low. You do have direct to high. Well, that's about as brief an overview as I can give. I think the best way to continue is let's let the light speak for itself. So here's the light clipped onto a hat. I just grabbed one of the many hats that I wear. It's on there pretty good, so I will show you an example of using this as an impromptu headlamp later tonight. Trying to clip the light onto a strap of your ruck or molly can be problematic with the size and that one-way clip. ACEBEAM does give you what I call kind of a keychain style carabiner to clip on to another carabiner or to a area of the strap of your rug. Well, let's suppose you lose it, misplace it. No problem. You can pick one up on Amazon. I actually took this off of another light, put it on just like this. This extends out, so even if I accidentally let go, it's not going anywhere. So you do have a number of options to carry this with you. Out the front, white in ultra low. There is low. Look out over the creek. Medium. I can just barely light up max line of sight at about 35, 38 yards. And then up into high, and that gets me way back inside the trees in the distance, well over 40, 45 yards line of sight. And field of view. This is the side or auxiliary light in low white. Press and hold to toggle back and forth between low and high. The battery compartment cap is magnetic. That's what's holding the light up right now, facing down. In high white, I'm back about 10 yards, so that just shows you an area lighting example. I'll run through the rest of the outputs from about the same distance, all in their high output levels. There is solid red, flashing red, solid green, flashing green, solid blue, flashing blue, always my favorite, flashing red blue. And that is some sort of rainbow swirl type of pattern. And first practical exercise of the evening, close quarter search. You've seen this before. We're at the playground. Your kids were out here earlier playing right in this area, dropped something. Now you have to come search for it. This is the low output, and honestly, I think this is getting the job done, especially if I'm looking for something reflective. It's not overwhelming reflections up close. Gives me pretty decent visibility out to that 10, maybe 12 yard range. So unless you're trying to cover the entire playground, this would be a good output level. For path following, low is actually pretty good for just right in front of you. Really beats a cell phone. Okay, maybe 10, 12 yards downrange. I can certainly get enough contrast, especially if I hold it lower. I can see the slope of the terrain, areas where I might get in trouble. Downrange is very weak, but if I go one up into medium, okay, this is not a thrower, it's not high candela, but I've got a decent mix for this lumen output between downrange and peripheral. So medium is kind of a good go-to output for a number of tasks. This is a cap light test, low output. For this darker, more confined path, this output is just fine. If you got out into a wider open, brighter area, of course, you'd probably want to go up one to medium. But as far as functioning as an impromptu headlamp on your cap, this seems to work just fine, feels good. And we're going to do a high burn down. Good 40 yards line of sight. Lots of growth out here this time of year. I think I'll let this run to about 1.5 minutes. Heat has been pretty much non-existent. And the bugs are really getting to me, so I think I'll go ahead and shut it down here. So I waited for a few minutes, and this is medium output level, same area. Same area, Duracell AAA battery, low output, medium, and high. Definitely lose a lot of downrange. Still very good peripheral, but not nearly as bright. And back to where we started. Very interesting set of tests. Dual outputs, dual fuel. I did like the combination of downrange and in-close area lighting, as well as the fact that that side or auxiliary light has both low and high outputs. I would probably classify this as a mini EDC style light for the Lumen output, the size of the light. I thought it performed quite well, but what I think doesn't really make any difference. I would expect this to have a lot of uses around the house, around the backyard, in and around the vehicle, the campground, as a travel light. Hopefully you saw a number of potential use cases in the field test tonight. If not, well, I guess that tells you something. I've always thought a good light ought to be able to sell itself, and I'm just going to leave it at that. I do hope you saw everything you needed tonight in order to make a decision. If not, leave a comment. Normally I would say I'll see what I can do and try to get to it in a fairly quick amount of time. With my upcoming hip replacement, I'm really not sure how I'll be able to fit additional tests in the near future. I do hate to say that tonight's exercise was quite painful, even while being on pain medication. And on that happy note, I'm just going to call it a night. And as always, until the next review, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for watching the video.